let's be honest, you guys all got clickbaited here, but that's okay. As you've probably all seen, Hamza is quitting YouTube. Well, quitting his daily schedule kind of upload thing. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I was kind of questioning, like, financially, what does that mean for him? Like, what did he have on the side other than that? I know he had some Skillshare courses, but I thought those got canceled. And I think he has some kind of company, but I'm not sure what he's doing. I am curious to know about that though. I was going to use this video as um, a little stepping stone to kind of give my where I started on self improvement, what my experience has been, and where Hamza came in for me, and the things that I found useful on his channel. So I started about I'd say I've been like smoothly on it for about a year now, and it started about 2 years ago that I was aware of it and was starting to develop my awareness of the things I was doing and you know the things I should be doing or would be better for me to do. So where did I start? I was 15, and anywhere from 12 to 15 years old. I was laying around all day. I was eating bag after bag of like burritos, hot pockets, and like pizza rolls. I was drinking over a 2 liter of Diet Coke per day. Like, Diet Coke was more readily available than water in my house. Like, it got really bad. Like, I started having withdrawal symptoms when I didn't drink, you know? It was, it was horrible. That might have just been dehydration, though, to be honest, because I remember there were weeks, months that I would go without drinking any kind of water. Which is really unhealthy considering I'm like eating all that sodium from the hot pockets and burritos. But I was wasting all of my time at school, so we're required to be there for like 8 hours a day. And at least if you're going, pay attention while you're there. You know, like at least if you're going to be forced to do there, you might as well do good, right? What are you gonna waste your time doing? Fucking playing Angry Birds on your phone? Like like drawing like little doodles and shit on your desk? Like talking to the people around you that you're not going to see like in 2 years, or that they're going to be in a different friend group in like a month? There's not there's not a point to wasting your time while you're at school. Um, it might seem hard paying attention, but that's really all school is. To get past it, even with straight A's, all you have to do is pay attention. I know in today's age, it's kind of saying a lot considering we have like TikTok and everything. We're fighting this battle for attention, but that was something I was doing. I was wasting all of my time. And then I would develop some really depraved thoughts. So masturbation and porn. Discovered I discovered porn around 7 years old and became addicted to it around 10 years old. And I think started masturbating around 11 years old, 11 or 12, somewhere around there. And from there it was constant, like every day, like at least 3 times, right? It was sad. It was so fucking sad. You guys, I don't think, I remember like the day, like 1 or 2 times where there was like a day that I didn't go, like a day that I went without it. It was so fucking sad, you guys. Um, and that went on for years, and until I was about 15. And then I finally discovered that holy shit, there's an issue with what's going on here, right? And then I had a hard time speaking. Um, when I was at lunch, when I was out with people, when I was with my group of friends at school, because I didn't have a group of friends outside of school. But when I was with my group of friends at school, I would just kind of sit there awkwardly with my hands always in my pockets. I would sit there and be really, really bitchy. I would also be very self deprecative. I don't know words, but no, like I would make self-deprecating jokes all the time, right? Make a complete ass out of myself, fake seizures, and like fall on the floor and do stupid shit. And because people were laughing, I continued doing it. Um, I was just making an ass out of myself. What was really sad at that time was when I stopped doing that. Everyone was like, "Oh, you're not that funny anymore." Like when you stop making an ass out of yourself and have some self-respect, and you're just being yourself, people, it just hurt to hear that. That's a side tangent though. Um, and I was so socially awkward that I would look at humor as a kind of science. So I don't remember what YouTuber it was, but I used to go to the channels and like look up humor as if it was a subject to study, which social interaction is kind of a subject, but like I would look at it autistically as a science. Like, here's what to say, when to say it, how to say it. This is the intonation you should use. Um, and it was so sad. God, it was painful. Um, I even had like this little notepad where I would take a pencil and just write down like little jokes and shit that weren't even that funny, to be honest. And I'd have them like I'd put one in my book bag, one in my pocket, one in my other pocket. Um, and in different areas, so that way if I ever had to like come up with something, I could just like, I don't know what I thought the practical like application of this would be, but I could just pull it out, read it, and then put it back. Like go to the bathroom, pull it out, read it, and then come back and like say the joke. It was an adventure. um I would do abstract things or learn abstract things to try and like draw attention to myself. So um I was learning a different language at the time. It was Japanese, and I was genuinely curious and I was actually learning it, but I told myself that I wasn't going to try to show off or anything, but I would continue to write stupid little like kanji or not kanji, the kanas characters and practice them, and I would act like I'm not trying to I'm just practicing, but no, I was trying to get social validation, and it was really sad. Looking back, I can see that now, but when I was doing it, I didn't notice. And I would also in like middle school try to do origami and stuff, because I thought that made me look cool. Make like little finger claws and shit. Um, Little shurikens and cranes. Oh man, I was a troubled young man, and I had a girlfriend at some time in middle school, and dude, it was sad. She came up to me and asked me, and she was like, "Yeah, you're cute," that kind of thing. And I thought of it as a compliment at the time. I don't know if I would now, but I didn't even have the balls to like speak to her in person, right? So we went to the same school, and there were a couple dances. I never took her to any of them. I only ever called her like twice, maybe one, actually maybe twice. I think I was only like once, and okay, and so I only called her like once or twice, and we texted like really infrequently. And when we saw each other in the hallways, I could barely even wave. Like I was I was that socially awkward. it was it was something. Uh but that's where I started. That's what I had to work with. And Where I found Hamza was a friend of mine had actually recommended him to me, and I had started watching a couple of his videos. I didn't watch many of his videos. I just watched like a couple and I got like the gist of it, and it was like, okay, shit, I am doing all the wrong things, right? Um, and around this time, I was also like, I was already trying to stop the porn, right? But then Hamza kind of drilled it in, and I was like, shit, this is actually a pretty big issue. And I was already looking at other semen retention content, and I think I Am Lucid, he used to do like NoFap and stuff. That's what really got me on the whole not jerking off thing. Um, and stopping porn. I used to really like I Am Lucid's content. He was like my version of. He was kind of the inspiration before Hamza. Um, and I started looking up videos and stuff on how to stop. And I came across this channel. I forget the name, but it was a female doctor. Um, and she would go over a lot of the neurological reasoning on why we get addicted to things, how we can stop, and just the different cognitive fuck ups that porn causes in teens, adults, anyone. And I was developing an awareness. And that's something that's really key to getting any kind of addiction out of your life, to making any kind of progress in life. Because, here, I'll draw like a little thing real quick. Well, here are like the comfort level of the good habit or the bad habits, like jerking off, porn, video games. Here's the here's the level of comfort and the good habits, like meditation, working out, blah blah blah. Um, what you do by getting an awareness is you start like when you do these negative or these actions that are up here, you kind of like you have like a negative thought that pops in. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or and over your time that awareness builds up. You're like, I shouldn't do this because this. I shouldn't do this because I shouldn't jerk off because I'll feel more negative about it tomorrow, or I'll feel unmotivated to do anything, and then I'll know why I was unmotivated to do anything, and then I'll feel like shit because I was unmotivated to do this thing, and it'll steamroll, and it will suck, but it's slowly bringing the comfort of this, and you start associating it with more negative, 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 and it slowly comes down ever so slightly, right? But that's not enough. You need to increase the baseline habits, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to make the baseline easier and more convenient to do. So when you're developing this awareness, you should be getting a good idea for what the alternatives would be, and that should help a little bit. But what you want to do is you want to start making your environment work for the good habits. So if you're surrounded with a group of friends that share, like, I know this is like more of an 80s thing, but share like magazines and shit with each other, or you God forbid you share porn videos with each other through like links and shit. um or you're in like Discord, like perverted Discord channels, or things of that nature, or you have like really perverted group of friends. Try to limit your interaction with them, and that'll make the convenience or the readily availableness of it come down. Try not using any lotion. If you do use lotion, try getting rid of certain things. If you know that when you eat fast food, you then have an urge to go home, lay on your bed, and jerk off, try to taper off fast food, which you should already be doing, because build up an awareness for that and what it does to your body and your relationships and your chance of finding a partner, and you should, not really want to do that anymore. You're building up more of an awareness. So all that's slowly coming down, and this is slowly going up. That's going to take time, and there will be a transition period. It will be a hard transition period, but you got to stick through it. There are ways to get through it. There are plenty of um, ways that you can manage, right? And I'll go through a lot of those on the channel. But I know this video got quite a bit sidetracked. This is just something that it's such a simple answer, but it's very difficult to do and stick with. Um, that's where I started out. And through this process of building awareness, I didn't know I was doing it at the time. But see, that's the value of this video to you. Like, when you don't know what you're going for, you're just working. You're mindlessly working for an unknown goal, which makes you branch off. So look, here, you start here, you go up to here, you go over to here, maybe you go over to here, go up here, maybe over to here, 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 here. You just kind of move your goal around because you're unsure of what your ultimate goal is. If you have your ultimate goal, which I'm giving you right now, the ultimate goal, you can reverse engineer it and get a clean path to the actionable step that you need to take right now. And that's also something that Hamza's videos kind of helped me with. It didn't really too much, but something I haven't really seen anyone explain is what I've just told you. The whole comfort and discomfort thing. That's a really powerful way of looking at it. If you can understand this whole dynamic, I guarantee you that you won't have a problem getting there. You will have infinite amount of success doing this. That's where I started. Where am I at now? I no longer lay around all day. Quite the opposite. In fact, I barely find time to sit down. When I do, I usually go on a walk instead, and I enjoy it. I actively crave reading books. Like I was at work the other day, and like I was genuinely just wanting to go home and read. Like just have my journal out beside it and just read. Like it felt the desire was it was the same as if uh the new console came out and you want to buy that new console and a new game because all your friends have it and shit. That's the same kind of desire I had. um I don't even drink soda. I haven't drinking it in a little over 3 years. I haven't eaten any fast food in like 2 years. That we're coming up on the second year. I haven't eaten out really. I cook all my stuff by myself. Um, I still honestly I don't shower for days still, but that's because it's the winter months and our water heater is very and I just don't really find the time. I shower when I need to, but if I'm only going through the daily grind and hustle, then I'm not gonna shower unless I'm going to go see someone that I like or be social. Trouble speaking, not really. I actually actively go out and look for conversation, meet new people. It's quite fun. I look at humor as a science and studied it. I don't really look at it as autistically as I did before. I look at it more on the neurological standpoint and um, I don't really look at that so much. I look at people as a whole and what makes them feel important and the different cognitive processes and um, I look at just being social as a science because it is a science. You can break it down into a lot of different pieces. And the thing I didn't understand before was that you have to, when you break things down, break them down and find a structure that you can follow and repeat multiple times. So a theory. Don't find these autistic one-off scenarios where it's like, hey, if this happens, do this, because there's a shit ton of stuff that can go wrong with that, and that's actually in the book that I was reading. If you're playing a game of chess, it's useless to plan 8 moves ahead, because regardless of the move that is made next, you're going to have to stop and replan everything, which is a complete waste of cognitive decision making and cognitive control. And it just ruins your focus. And the time that it takes to do that is not worth it, bro. So, I had a girlfriend and I was literally too embarrassed to speak in person to her. I have a girlfriend now, and that's not an issue. Actually, that's the only thing I do. I don't like speaking to her over the phone. I don't like texting her. I prefer seeing her in face to face. I would learn to do abstract do abstract things to try and get attention. No longer. Honestly, I just learn and do whatever is interesting to me. And the great thing about that is, at this point, it just kind of draws attention to me. Like, whenever I'm reading a book out in public, people think it's so weird for some reason. You know, like walking around and reading a book, people just kind of look at you like you're a freak, and they're like, oh, what are you reading? And they genuinely take an interest. Or you can find conversations where they're like, oh yeah, I was reading a book on about this girl who had some kind of psychological disorder, and she wrote a book detailing her experiences and how she developed cognitive processes and what she developed and what she found in the world and what found to be true. And a guy started a conversation with me about how his sister had autism, and he was really interested in finding a book to learn more about it because he didn't know previously. Gosh, guys, it's so worth it to get on this journey. I cannot exclaim how much better my life has been since starting this to before. I don't even have the urge to play games. I don't have the urge to watch porn. I don't have the urge to eat fast food. I enjoy my life as it is, and I look forward to where it's going. Like, I'm genuinely proud of the things that I've built up. I have a genuine fulfillment, and I've developed all this in about a year. And actually, it's been about a little over a year. But my promise to you is that through these videos, I will give you the structures and the goal that you can reverse engineer, and I can go through with you the actionable steps to take to get to that goal. That's my offer to you. And